Hello, I'm RetroJules, rolling out the 53 TP. This game still only had the first package unlocked. It's an encounter battle, and this game is going to involve a decision at the end. You will have noticed that because I'm driving heavies at the moment, my driving has improved. You're not seeing videos of me flipping and running off cliffs, and I'm quite proud to look a little bit more professional on the battlefield. Matthew with 1T is one of the retro, there he is, says follow me, and I'm not good at driving and communicating, but I don't want to follow him. I don't want to go straight to the encounter because I don't think my gun is good enough for one-on-one situations. And I was just sort of trying to just play... Oh, really? It would seem, no matter what tank I drive, there's a cock-up just around the corner. This game is relatively non-eventful, but I decide to win the game, or try and win the game, by capping at the end. And I'm going to be interested if you guys would have done the same thing. Matchmaking has kind of messed things up a little bit. We have 1 TD and they have 6. How did that ever get through the matchmaker? They are a very campy team. A very campy team on an encounter battle. So that could be their downfall. Pesky light tank coming up, a T-71. And it certainly gives me a run for my money. And I want to take the pesky light tank out. Go on, aim, missed your chance. Auto aim, bosh it in the face. You can do it. Nicely done. And just try to clip it and take its tracks out. And just missed. Get out of trouble. Luckily, there's 2 of us to sort of keep it occupied. It's really got to think on its feet, and it's not aiming at me. A half-aim shot on the move does the job. And it's running away. Now, if it's got any sense, it's going to run away completely. But that tank comes back for a little bit more, thinking it can take 2 heavies out. Aim. No. So it's using the rock for cover. Right, you go one way, I'll go the other. Because surely, actually it's not going to take us on, it's thinking of a way out. Here it comes. Aim, aim. What a shot! Especially for me. Happy with that. Scout tank taken out. The teams are even. We've both lost 3 tanks apiece. The trouble is, because they're all triangles, wherever I go, I'm going to get out spotted. Because they're going to be sitting around with binoculars and camo nets on, hiding. And something is at the back of the map somewhere, spotting me. And I don't know where it is. I saw that shot. It's over in that back. There it is. It's an Oods. Its shot bounces. My shot doesn't. Now that Oods, keep an eye on that Oods. That Oods is going to make it to the very end of the game. And that Oods is going to be the influence on my decision on how I decided to play the game at the end. So that Oods is doing a runner. And in my mind, that Oods was going to end up camping in the village somewhere. But actually, it's being chased by a heavy. So I was always going to be wrong. And that Oods, which has now disappeared off the minimap, will be camping at K1 for the rest of the game. Now that I've planted that seed for you, we'll try and get the rest of this game underway. Teams are very, very even. On the kills, that is. And we're whittling them down to pretty much all triangles. But there is a real gathering at the cap. Ooh, a nice little tier 6. Yes, please. That's a nice shot in. One more to get a second kill. Oh, it's going to disappear. I can just see it. Oh, is that enough? That'll do. Right, onwards. So, a heavy, a TD and a light tank at the cap. A TD at J5. And that Oods is at K1. Even though I didn't know that at the time. Right, can we go in and take this AT out? Ah, missed my chance. There's a defender. It's a one shot. And I messed this up. I just need to go in, but no, too much of an angle. Too much. It's not good. No, it's not going to go in. Square on. If you want that to go in. Oh, am I going to miss my chance? Third kill. Hurrah. Right. Me, a heavy, and a medium versus the last two TDs. And I think, do you know what? We would be better off capping and make them come to us, because if they're on the move, we stand a chance of seeing them. If they camp, they will always see us first. And then I think, well, actually, those guys are going in hard and there's only one TD left. I'll join them. 3 of us against a TD. I think we stand a good chance. And then I'm kind of realising how long it's going to take me to get there and catch them up. And I think, do you know what, guys? You two have got this. I'm sure. I'm going to go back and I'm just going to sit in the cap. So I'm going to head back to the cap while those two go hunting. And I've got it in my head, like I said, that it's in the village about there, and it's not. It is actually at K1. Other people knew it. I didn't. I just lost track. So I am going to sit in this cap. And see what happens. See, it's just 2 heavies now against an Oods. And the trouble is, and this is my thinking now, if that Oods is, hold down, in siege mode, binoculars on and camo net on, we are never going to see it first. And I just had this horrible feeling, if I start heading that way, and that heavy is taken out, it's just going to be me versus the Oods. And I think in that situation, I'd be outspotted and I'd lose. Whether the Oods would show after it took its shot would just depend on when it saw me and how close I was. So I decide to cap the game out. What would you have done? Would you have gone in? Or would you have capped out like I did? See, my thinking was, if I can bring the Oods to me, I surely have a benefit from that, being able to take it out. But if I go to the Oods, I think the Oods has got the advantage. And those 2 tanks are a real stalemate. They don't even move for ages on the mini-map. And I just sped this up for you to make it slightly more comfortable. But if you look at K1, there is no movement at all between those 2 tanks. There's a real stalemate, and I'm not really sure what happened or why it happened. We win the game, and I capped. A little bit filthy maybe, but I thought at the time it's the right thing to do. So how did we do overall? Because this isn't where it ends. Alright, the silver. Okay, damage I suppose, just nothing. 3rd class mastery. Yeah, I'll have that, thank you very much. You know, nothing amazing in there, and came 5th overall. But I just wondered what you would have done. And let me show you what actually happened. So thank heavens for the really decent replay system that we have. There's that Oods at K1, K2, and there's our 45 TP going in, and it's taken a clout because that ooze was always going to outspot us. And bearing in mind I would have been a fair distance behind, so I may have had a line of sight, I may have seen it. But our 45 TP is taking a bit of a hammering on the way in, and this was my fear. And had that tank been taken out while I was on my way, then I would have been in the same boat. And this is the standoff. This is where the minimap just kind of froze. And go on, you go. Oh, yeah, you see, that's the trouble. That 45 TP lost so much health on the way. It's not in a strong position now. And this is the standoff, and this is exactly how the standoff stays. So, on reflection, you may be thinking, well, actually, Retro, you could have left the cap, because it'd have been 2 tanks against 1. But I have a feeling, I mean, the tank destroyer knows I'm in the cap, because the air raid siren is going off. If the air raid siren stopped, then that TD is going to know that I've left. And where am I going to be going? Am I going to go shopping? No, I'm going to go and find the TD. What would you do if you were that TD? You would probably roll in and risk taking the 45 TP out. And then it would have been a one-on-one situation where you would have had your camo net on and been able to take me out. And I think that's what would have happened. It may not have done. It may have been a situation where this standoff just stayed that way. I mean, they're pinging the map. I know where they are. The thing is, do I risk leaving the cap for it? Because it may not work. And it might not have worked. And that TD might have just stayed there in that position and gone, oh, bugger. Air raid siren's not going. Retro's on his way. What's going to happen? I'm going to have a tank either side. One way or the other, I'm going to die. And I think it would have taken the plunge and had a go at taking the 45 TP out. And then I would have been sniped on the way in. Had the 45 TP done an SOS, then I would have considered leaving the cap, because I would have then known that the 45 TP may have the situation under control and was kind of saying, come on Retro, let's win this by an all-out win. And I would have probably made the move. But it didn't, so I stayed. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments down below and see if you'd have played it any differently, or if you think I could have played it any differently. I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep safe, keep tanking, and I'll see you soon.